Nostalgia is always having a moment. Those characters, shows, movies, or music that take us back to a different place and time in life. And that is the beauty of cartoons. We all had our favorites, the ones we grew up on. And a one-day art exhibition is giving us the opportunity to see some of those classics reinvented. Cartoons and Cocktails is this Friday at Muse GR. We have Alex Lynn. He's the artist, the curator, and the host behind it all. Alex, thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you. It's an honor being here.
Yeah, so you tell us you're going to be drawing during this segment.
I'm going to sketch you a little bit while we talk and everything.
Yes, because you're a character artist as well.
I am. Yes.
Okay, so that a little bit behind, that's kind of the backstory. Tell us really about this exhibition and what made you want to bring it to the public.
So I've had my own business for about 5 years and everything, and with that, you know, I do a little bit of art for the Detroit Pistons. I do a lot of different curation and client work and everything. And in that, I kind of got into doing gallery shows and everything. And with that came a lot of studying and going to shows and just kind of figuring out what I would want, what I wouldn't want, and everything. And I'm a big cartoon fan, you know, and one thing I noticed was there wasn't a ton of cartoons going on, and not really in like a respected, like, usually people kind of look at it like, oh, this is for kids, this is for something, and there's just, I think, a level of nostalgia and kind of generational aspects that go with cartoons and animation. And just kind of through studying a whole bunch of shows, I kind of developed a pitch and what I would do, what I wouldn't want to do, and just, Stephen Smith, he's the creator of Muse and everything, Muse Gallery. He's a amazing, I always call him the godfather of art around here because I feel like everybody has some kind of tie to him.
Sure.
I gave him a pitch at the Grand Rapids Symphony, of all places, in the middle of a exhibition he was doing, and I just kind of leaned over to him and went like, hey, if you ever have an opening for a show, let me know, I'd love to do it. In mid kind of somebody playing their violin, he kind of leans over and goes, pitch it right now. And it was kind of like, okay. And basically the whole idea I had for the show, I pitched to him in this moment, and he just kind of leaned over again and was like, approved. And it was just like, I would have done this.
As easy as that.
Would have done this sooner if I knew it was going to be so easy, right?
Amen,
you
right?
know? So, yeah, and that's kind of how it got started.
So let's talk about, you have a wide range of artists participating with their work. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I think about the show is it's this multi-generational and like what I like to call connectivity of like, I don't care how old you are, if somebody has some kind of relationship to a cartoon, whether you grew up with one or like you have a current one. And I think the cool idea that I kind of grasped onto as a curator is like getting people, younger people, former students of mine that I've taught and everything and mentored, some people that have mentored me, people that are in and out of state. We have a couple artists from Detroit and Chicago, and I have a couple artists from California, and a couple mentors of mine that I wouldn't have got the cartoon bug without. Their name is Jack Snyder and Scott Rosema. And I wouldn't have got into a lot of the stuff without them. So it's like, it's kind of cool full circle stuff to have people I've had light connection with, people I've mentored or taught, or people I've just
mentored you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I love that.
A big thing.
And so let's speak to this piece, because this, you said, is an 18-year-old did this, who was one of your mentees.
So this is Leah Mills. I have known her since she was in 3rd grade and everything, and she's just skyrocketed in the sense of like, I think when you really love something, I think the universe will kind of give something back to you, and I think she just kind of figured out her style and her inspiration, and this is a piece based on some art by Mary Blair, who was an iconic Disney artist and everything. And she probably did this in like an hour or something crazy. She's so skilled and so tactical, but the kind of cool representation of like, I don't care how old you are or where you come from, or you could be a rookie or a pro. Like, your art always has a place in my show.
I love that. You know? I love that so much. Yeah, it's beautiful. Alice in Wonderland, of course, on the mirror. It doesn't really show as well sitting on our couch, but it is a very, very cool piece. So what's your goal? What do you hope to bring to the people, and who should attend this? Yeah,
so last year we had, and it was crazy, it got way bigger than I expected. We had about 300 people in 2 hours.
Amazing.
And we had about 60 people lining up at the door. And it was just kind of a crazy, like, I knew it was going to get an audience and I knew it was going to have the support, but like, I think if you kind of have a good idea and you kind of put it out there and just kind of let people know like, hey, this is what it is, you know, I think people can latch on to that. So just that, you know, like I said, the multi-generational, like, you know, kids can be here, adults can be here. And one of the coolest things I think I saw was at one point, I did a painting of Bugs Bunny and everything, and I'm a big Looney Tunes fan. And I saw this kid walk up to and go, oh my gosh, like Bugs Bunny. And then Dad walked up and kind of held the kid and was like, oh yeah, no, I know Bugs Bunny. Your grandpa loves Bugs Bunny, and it is just like that, like really cool generational connection that a lot of people have with these characters. So
I love that.
I think just kind of challenging people's idea on what can be in an art gallery, not be in an art gallery, and just kind of have that like really cool connection that a lot of people can have.
I was going to say the
with this
connection
art.
and the accessibility. I think
Yes.
it's a great one. So this is open to everyone.
Yeah, free. Anybody can stop by.
Okay.
Whatever time. So it's from 6 to 8 p.m.
All right.
At Muse GR, and I always say it's going to kind of be the show of the summer.
Perfect.
So,
All right, and it's coming up this Friday.
yes.
Wonderful, Alex. Well, thank you so much for doing this. There will be 40 different pieces, 20 different artists, totally free to the public. Families are invited to come. Everyone's going to see those characters that they know and they love. Cartoons and Cocktails, Volume 2 at Muse GR from 6 to 8. The phone number is there on your screen. And then, okay, you got to show us what you got.
Okay,
I
so
can't believe you did
we
this.
got
That is
talking a
so
little bit too,
impressive.
but yeah, thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Alex.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
you.
We'll see you Friday.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.